Good evening. Next news. Pete Hegseth erupts at judge who blocked Trump's trans-military ban. The Daily Beast. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth took a page out of his boss's playbook when he took to social media late Saturday to hurl insults at a sitting judge who granted an indefinite injunction against President Donald Trump's attempted ban on transgender volunteers and service members in the military. On Tuesday, U.S. District Court Judge Anna Reyes issued an injunction against the ban, writing in her 75-page decision, "The military ban is soaked in animus and dripping with pretext." Its language. Below are your comments. Hegseth seems too occupied with cultural issues as Secretary of Defense. This very personal attack on a sitting judge is disrespectful of the judicial process. If he chooses to appeal, just professionally appeal. The Senate will soon come to regret his confirmation. Pete, your responsibility is to military planning, or whatever it is you do. The federal judge's responsibility to ensure you do that within the Constitution. I don't recall Colin Powell doing that when I was in. Did things change since I was in? Utter nonsense. The judicial branch is doing their job, unlike the legislative branch, to ensure you follow the law. They aren't attempting to do your job for you. Although I'm fairly certain they could do it better than a weekend faux news talk show host. Isn't it amazing how the constitutional process of checks and balances means nothing to this administration? Said no intelligent and well-informed American ever. After the ghastly spectacle of the 6th of January 2021, it was abundantly clear that Donald Trump only sees the Constitution as an impediment to his desires, not something that he has sworn an oath to preserve, protect and defend. Americans chose to excuse the inexcusable and we're going to pay a very steep price over the next 4 years and much longer. Major Pete has to erupt. He has to maintain his Trump social credit score. If he didn't, Trump would be disappointed with him. I can't help but laugh when I read Hegseth attempt to berate someone else as a top military planner, when he only did weekend duty in the National Guard for a couple of years, and that only in hopes of pinning a military service merit badge to his future resumes. Hegseth is as phony as a Trump $100 bill. I think there is a thing called the rule of law. It may be slow and deliberate and guided by the Constitution and the law. I'm not sure about trans people in the military, but I am sure that we can't be ruled by whims, dicta, and decrees. Pete and the Trump crowd seem to have a problem with people that don't look like them. I served on active duty for 24 years. Vietnam vet. The color of a person's skin or preferred gender did no matter when we were on defense. Is there a man or woman in Trump's cabinet who is more ill-equipped for his job than Hegseth is? He is clearly in way over his head, and will doubtlessly continue to provide the nation with much more amusement and bemusement. Absurd waste of energy and focus. As a veteran Marine, the only thing critical to the military mission is our training, competency, and unity. If an individual has the mental and physical aptitude to meet those standards, you are a solid member of the team. Those military standards are blind to color, gender, or any other identity metrics. We do not need this divisive narrative polluting our military ranks. Unity and seeing each other as one cohesive unit with a common mission is what defines us. Being part of a unit and the associated camaraderie is a beautiful patriot experience. It blinds you to the differences of your fellow soldiers if you embrace it with your heart and soul. Since Judge Reyes is now a top military planner, they can report to Fort Benning at 0600 to instruct our Army Rangers on how to execute high-value target raids. After that, Commander Reyes can dispatch to Fort Bragg to train our Green Berets on counterinsurgents. Why? They should have put a ex-active duty specialist in charge. At least the decisions would be made from someone that had more experience. I thought he was going to quit drinking? If he has a problem with a judge, maybe an appeal would be in order, not a immature rampage on his Bud.'s X platform. I bet there are fewer than 100 trans people in the military, which doesn't warrant the amount of attention that a tiny minority of people get. The GOP is incapable of focusing on the stuff that really matters. Hegseth barely understands the role of the military. His only experience is being a mid-level officer. Not even active duty, he's likely the most unqualified person to serve in a cabinet position. Maybe ever. Picture this. A small, spoiled child throwing a tantrum because they didn't get their own way. Now picture a person in control of a large part of the US government doing the same thing. Who's showing the least bit of class? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Equal protection under the law. Got to love MAGA. Anytime they open their mouths, they only prove over and over just how much animus they have for the entire LGBTQ community. They try and sell us the smokescreen that is just the TSBU. Everyone has been listening to them since Stonewall. They will never be truly. Pete doesn't even know what those words mean. Someone wrote that for him. He's as smart as a rock, Trump's favorite type of person. Hegseth's comments are ludicrous. He unfortunately oversees the military and could not perform the duties that he maliciously suggested that the judge perform. He is a disgruntled reservist who is not qualified to be in the position he is in. Just another Trump lackey. The judge should have hit Hedgehog with a contempt of court, a large fine, and 30 days in jail. Since contempt of court is a civil violation, Trump can't pardon him, nor can the judge be impeached for it. Hedgerow brought it on himself by being disrespecting the judge in court. This whole administration has no respect for the American law. Hopefully down the road they will all be brought to justice, and starting with the GOP leader, the big man baby. Heggie is a bigger more than I thought. What an EEDDDEE.